If you do happen to make friends on set, don't let your newfound friendship detract from, okay, let's just pay attention to what's, being said because I need to prepare for this scene. And then when you do have the scene, there's all sorts of little conversations and things going on around. You want to be a solution if you can.
Hi, I'm Alex DeLerma, and this is the Cinema Gym. If these videos are helping you and you want to see some more, please like, subscribe, comment. Let's keep this thing going. So I wanted to talk to you about on-set etiquette, how an actor should behave or shouldn't behave on set. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I mean, I guess you're being noticed from the moment you arrive to a set by everybody, and how you treat people. It's going to spread like that. Of course, you don't want to be the stinky guy. You want to have, you want to, even if you're playing a homeless, you want to smell, I don't know how politically correct that is, but I played homeless when I had my long hair.
Right.
And I made sure that I smelled good. I made sure that I was, because these people haven't met you before. So you want to put your best face forward.
And that could even be on the other side, right? Maybe somebody who's playing a playboy or a player,
right? And
he comes on set with really strong cologne.
Right, exactly. So you want to just all the same things that you would keep in mind for any sort of business meeting. You want to do the same sort of thing on set. You also want to be very aware and listening to things, because these people are on a budget. They're running around. You want to be available when they say, okay, Dustin, it's your turn, or whoever, we need you right now. You want to be.
And what do you mean by be available?
Well, you want to tell them if you're going to the bathroom, you want to communicate, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom. After that.
So they always know where you are.
They always should know where you are. You never want to disappear.
And who should you say that to?
The first AD.
Right.
You should, if you do happen to make friends on set, don't let your newfound friendship detract from, okay, let's just pay attention to what's, being said because I need to prepare for this scene. And then when you do have the scene, there's all sorts of little conversations and things going on around. You want to be a solution if you can. So if there's any sort of a question about whether
or a problem, you can offer a suggestion.
Yeah, if it's appropriate, you can be available to offer a solution. Also, if you have something where that they don't have the location for much longer, or that it's a complicated thing. One time I had to run out into the street, go into this car. There's a whole big, huge production where I had to be at this car, but it was going with real traffic. So I had to listen. And they weren't going to let me rehearse. It was just, we're going to do this. And I said, it'd be really helpful if can I just run through this. So you want to, the more that you're able to listen and sort of be around the actual action, you can understand intuitively where your place is and what's appropriate. And
that's great. Socializing, I think when you mentioned that's a big one. I think lots of times men and women fall into a trap of getting bored and then socializing and maybe even hitting on the opposite sex,
right?
Which is like, come on, man, we're here to work,
right?
And
or just being obnoxious too. Not everybody has the same views, and so when you're very loud and opinionated about certain things, or you just assume that everybody's on the same. Not everybody is. So you want to just be neutral. Be a neutral, positive force.
Yeah. I had an actor once that, and this isn't so long ago, I think we talked about it in one of these videos. Yeah. It was Philip Brandon, and it was a TV show that I coached him for. I can't remember the show. It was something to do with firefighting. And he said his part was going to be like he was caught in some kind of medical device, claustrophobic, freaking out, and he was like, I was waiting all day, and then they were running out of time, and his scene was crucial, but after he had already coached for the audition, and he got hired, he hired me again. to prepare him for the shoot. And so we rehearsed it like a play, like we did for our film, right? And the whole thing, I put him inside this thing where he was trapped and I'm at the door, and he was ready to go. And he could tell he was paying attention to the set, like you said. And he told himself, they're way behind.
Yeah.
I better be ready. So I want to piggyback on what you said. When you said be prepared, I know what you mean. You mean emotionally prepared. So he started to do his breathing exercises. He started to work on some of the stuff that we had discussed in order to get himself emotionally unwound and panicky, because he's supposed to be suffering from claustrophobia.
Yeah.
And so when they called him, it was like, boom.
Right. And a lot of times,
one shot, one take.
Yeah. A lot of times, if let's say you don't have the privilege of having your trailer, they've driven you somewhere else.
Yeah. Sometimes your trailer's far away.
You would still communicate to those same people, hey, I'm going to stand over here and just kind of get to the thing.
To do your preparation.
Just want you to know that I'm over here.
Yeah.
I haven't disappeared.
Yeah.
And just be very clear, because these people have so many things going on.
Yeah.
I was going to say also, number one is be punctual. And I always show up at least an hour earlier than my call time, just because you never know what's going to happen on the road.
Sure.
They won't know that you're there that early, but if you're late, they'll know.
Oh yeah.
and they'll talk about you. And I've seen actors show up late and that cost us this much money. So always be punctual.
I had an actress that I hired once. She wasn't the greatest actress in the world. She was all right. She had a really, really small part. And this was on the first feature I did, Alvarez and Cruz, that I directed. And then after that, she was an extra. I think for almost like the 10 shorts and the film we did, like I brought her back for almost all of those things. And she would get a small part here or there, because she was willing to do anything. She was like punctual. She was, she didn't care how big or small the role was. Literally, I would say, do you want to read the script first? And she's like, no, you guys are great. I like working with you guys. And I just felt so grateful for that. And so sometimes I would just write something, go, oh, she'd be good for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. Anything else that we can think of here before we leave this topic? Did you have something?
I just treat everybody with respect, and that means everybody, because you never know who is.
I think when you're on set, unless you're the star, it's probably a good idea to pretend that it's the 1890s, in which children should be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
Back in the day, that was the vibe, right?
Yeah.
Children should be seen, not heard.
Yeah.
And then it gives you a bit of a mystery, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All they know is who the guy who showed up on set and hit it out of the park. If you're interested in classes, seminars, or private coaching, you can visit the website. Hope to see you in the gym soon.
TheCinemaGym.com for virtual one-on-one coaching for camera.